Hello and welcome to Northern Illinois Biz Chats. I'm your host, Susie, with the Gift Wrap Place, also known as wrapwithbo.com.
And I'm your co-host, George Chase.
These chats are sponsored by wrapwithbo.com
and the George Chase Insurance Agency.
Thanks for tuning in and enjoy this episode of Biz Chats,
also known as NIBC.
Another episode of Northern Illinois Biz Chats, and we are here with a guest many of you already know, but we're so excited to have Annemarie here to talk all things artistry. And this is new for me, so I can't wait to hear about all she has to offer. And we're going to let you introduce yourself.
Wonderful. I'm Annemarie Whitmore Lenzini, and I am the president of the Clayworkers Guild of Illinois. And I'm also the chair of the Arts Commission for Woodstock and the vice president of Art for Woodstock, which is a new organization of trying to bring more art into Woodstock because we are such an amazing community.
Oh, great. I have to hear more about that. Yeah.
We just broke news. Tell us how you landed in Woodstock, how you started this business.
It was founded in 1979, so that's 46 years ago.
Wow.
So 4 years, we'll celebrate 50 years.
That's big.
Yes,
yeah.
And we, it was a group of artists who used to do all the craft fairs and the fairs and everything around Illinois and Wisconsin, but they had no cohesion. So in 1979, they said, we need to find some way that we can talk to each other, but also help each other.
I love that.
Yeah. And so it was started. What's amazing is that one of the founders is still an active potter and is also in our shop, which is over on Main Street across from the movie theater. So the Guild started in 1979. For 20 years, we were at the old courthouse just for the holidays. Okay. So from November through the beginning of January, we would sell our pottery there every year, 20 some years ago. And in 2021, the city, due to COVID, asked us to stay in the building just prior to the renovation of the old courthouse.
Oh, okay.
All right.
So they asked us to stay for that whole year, and we did so well that we decided to get our own space.
Fabulous. Wow. I did not know that story.
Yes, yeah. So hence, we now have a shop over on Main Street, Artisans on Main.
It's a great shop.
Yes. So
love it.
We just celebrated our 3rd anniversary on March 1st.
Congratulations.
I know. And then, in addition, when we started leasing that space 3 years ago, there was a smoke shop behind us. And I told the landlord, we couldn't afford it 3 years ago. I said, but if that space ever comes available, we would like first option of taking it. Well, it came available. So as of March 1st this year, we now have the Artisans on Main, our retail store, and then we have the back area.
Space.
So we're doing classes now. So we're doing...
Love the classes.
Yes.
That's big.
Yeah, you were there.
Yeah, I know. I was there. And we just had Tessaronis, and that was the first time I ate his food.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, so... and he said he did get a big event out of that.
I know.
Yeah, that was great.
It's all about all of us staying local.
That's
and
right,
helping
and
each other
helping
out,
and
so.
supporting.
So
were you always in pottery yourself? Are you a pottery girl?
I took care of my mother, so I was living elsewhere. I was able to retire, and I was able to add on to our home, and I took care of my mom for 10 years. So I retired from my career, took care of my mom, and I needed to get out of the house.
Sure.
So I live about 2 minutes from McHenry County College. So I was able to start taking ceramics classes at the college 14 years ago. Haven't looked back since.
Yeah.
So I've just kept on taking the classes there. What's amazing, we have 76 members in our guild. 36 of us are still taking classes at McHenry County College.
Yeah, that's what you were saying.
Yeah, it's crazy
to do. So that's what I love about ceramics and what you're doing is it's something you can pick up and you can do, and it's a beautiful way to express yourself through that kind of art. I love that. Crazy. People come to the square from all over. We were just saying this.
Yeah.
On the weekends, we will have people from Milwaukee.
Oh, yes.
Big groups.
Right.
Yeah.
And it seems like people used to skip by Woodstock and go straight to Lake Geneva.
Yeah, they're coming in.
The number of people that I've heard over the last year that have not gone there, but have come here instead, or have said, or have come from there to here.
The art is unique. you know you're going to get a piece and you're only going to get it here.
Correct.
You know you're going to eat a certain food and you're only going to get it here. You see, that's what they love about that. And not every town has that. Sometimes, you get addicted to the big box coming in, the national coming in, right? This town has stayed true to that artisan culture.
Correct.
Which is really, that's unique. People want unique. People are looking for that in their lives. Yeah.
What's a nice thing about this partnership with McHenry County College is that we are part of their catalog. So they send out, I think it's 16,000 of those catalogs.
That's beautiful.
All around the area.
Yeah.
So not only are we able to attract more to our community, but we're able to outreach in a greater way too by that relationship.
Now, when you started the guild, there were no other guilds. So when they started this guild, there were no other guilds.
There was no community for them to be a part of.
So now there's other guilds.
Yes.
And that branched
not so
out
much
from
Pottery Guild.
Yeah.
And the lady who, one of the founders of the guild, was also the ceramics director at McHenry County College. So one of the three founders, she'd been involved with the college for, as of now, she's retired, but for 30-some years.
Okay.
That's great.
So what about the young folks? Are they coming in too? Is your program for the younger, the youth, and older? Are you looking, or is it mainly?
Well, since we just opened up the class portion on March 1st, right now we're just doing adults.
Got you.
With our relationship with the college, our collaboration. And then as we see what's needed, we'll keep on adding other classes.
Okay.
Yeah, as we expand and realize, because, many people would like to do wheel throwing, which is throwing, the Patrick Swayze.
Everybody, when they think of pottery, thinks of ghost.
Yeah, and that's throwing on the wheel. And right now we have 4 wheels in our basement, but to learn how to throw on the wheel is a minimum of 5 classes. So we can't commit to that just yet.
Okay.
So eventually we will.
Coming soon.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also doing, attracting a younger age, because the demand and the need to have young children's and young adults programs is quite great.
So in your spot, if someone wanted to have an event and they wanted to do a ceramic event,
they could do any kind of event.
Okay, so what was it with the plate? You were talking about that.
So I was saying that in our shop, Artisans on Main, we have 40 local artists, because not everybody can bring their work into the shop. So we have 15 artists that rent a space. We're run like a co-op.
Oh, okay.
Right, we're run like a co-op. So they pay rent and they work the store. So there's no salaries paid out or anything.
Yeah.
And then once their rent is covered, everything that of their work that sells, that's their money. And then because there's certain artists that cannot work the store, we have 2 sections that are artists who have pieces on consignment.
Perfect.
So nobody,
I love
if
that.
nobody wants to be, nobody is excluded from the guild to be a part of the store.
What is your vision for the guild? Like, what is your vision?
The vision is to keep on giving back to the community.
You told us about your new space.
Yes.
How are you wanting to use that space? For classes? That's your vision, is that space is going to be used for classes.
But we have quite a few local artists. We have pretty much a world-renowned sculptor here in Woodstock, Eric Blom. He has done sculptures from Martin Luther King to Rosa Parks to different explorers.
Tell me about the farmers market. How are you getting involved with that?
Well, so last year we applied to the farmers market to be able to be on the square.
Okay.
So we're still going to continue demoing. To me, how do you explain what you do unless you show somebody? So we
Hello.
demo every Saturday, now that it's the outdoor market, and we show either throwing on the wheel or hand building. Like last Saturday, it was very chilly and windy. You can't work with cold clay on a wheel.
Oh, so you
when
couldn't
it's
do it
cold
then?
out. No.
Okay.
No, but if it's nice weather this coming Saturday, we'll have either hand building or throwing on the wheel. So we still demo, but then the artist that is demoing is able to also sell their work. Yes. So when you do an event that's like just a luncheon, you can't really do the whole hands-on make and create with clay.
It's great.
So we try to find something that would be an option for that instead. So I slip cast, which is pouring liquid clay into a mold, and you are left with the shape. Like when you buy a mug at Target or Costco, those have all been slip cast in China or Japan. We're doing local. But so you slip cast them, and then you fire them to their first level of firing, which is called bisking, and then you have that shape. And so at these events where you can't do the full hands-on, we paint them.
I really think that when you're doing any kind of event, you're sharing,
Yes.
whatever it is, when you have people doing hands-on, much greater impact. Much greater impact.
And they're more open to a conversation.
Oh, it was great. I mean, I met at the 2 tables, I met everybody. Because as we're doing the thing, we're talking, and I met everybody.
Each and every artist has their own strength, and they also take what's called commissions. So for example, Cesaronis hired one of our team to make them mugs with their logo on it for their shop.
That would have been great to have the 2 of you in together.
Right.
Yeah.
So many of them will do commissions because
That's big.
everybody,
I think that's a
has
success
their
story.
own,
That's a
everybody
success
wants their
story.
own thing. Everybody wants, I want this color or this shape.
But that was a big thing. What you just said, you just hit it.
Right.
So you have an artist that just was commissioned to do Cesaroni mugs. That's what we were looking for. And there you go.
And then because of that, Two Brothers, who provides the coffee for Cesaronis, has now commissioned this artist to make mugs.
There you go.
Wow.
So it's like the ripple effect of
I
passing
love
it
those
on.
stories.
That's fantastic.
That is fabulous.
Yeah.
And you know what? It also is a testament to Cesaronis is really getting involved.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
They're
You know,
great
they are
advocates.
using and supporting local business, and I love that. All right, tell us about these pieces. What do I have?
So you have, hence, the groundhog and Woodstock. Here, I wanted you to put these up. There's 2, Susie. Here, Susie.
Okay.
Okay, and I have one more. Hold on. So, because
these, or no? That's
no,
really
they're
legit?
magnetic, but
Okay.
because of Woodstock and the groundhogs.
Oh, this is my thing.
Oh yeah, I sit at night hand painting bees and ladybugs, and either put them on magnets or on these little dishes that I make.
I love it. Oh, that is adorable.
Yeah, but when we have special events that come up, i.e.,
This is great.
Groundhog
These are
Day,
great. I love them.
we try to go along with the themes of what is happening.
What's
in the
going on
city.
in the community,
Yeah,
right?
Sure.
Right, most definitely.
Okay, and then what is your mug?
This one is our guild one.
All right,
so this
let's
is
show
the
the guild
Artisans
one.
on Main.
Oh, I love
So this is our shop.
this. Would be nice to drink coffee
Yeah.
out of.
Yes.
Very nice. Okay.
To drink Two Brothers coffee out of. Found only.
Honestly, that is the
yeah,
best
yeah.
coffee.
And they did
That's
a-
their coffee.
They did a Cicerone blend.
Yeah.
That's unique to their restaurant.
Oh,
Since
it's
there's
delicious.
2 brothers that own the
Yeah.
place.
It's delicious. Yes. Okay. And then what about these pieces?
Well, this is my work. I do vintage lace on porcelain, and I
Vintage
just
lace.
so I
on porcelain.
I go
That was
antiquing and thrifting, and I find vintage lace, and I put it on porcelain. And then to me,
Now tell us about vintage lace.
so it's lace that's no longer made. It's the
And what do you do? You set
grandmothers.
it in there?
I do hand building. I don't do throwing on the wheel.
I get the
and
hand
so
building. Oh, my
yeah, the
hands are
hand
broken.
building. And so it's where it just creates such a beautiful texture, which allows the pool to, the glaze to pool and create a different effect on it.
Is that how you get some of the colors?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because that's one color.
Yeah.
There's
yeah.
other glazes because of the texture. It's called breaking on the clay, in that they break different colors, golds and browns and reds and
Oh.
blues and- right. So some of these
amazing.
glazes are really amazing because they change due to the texture.
Do you have a wheel at home?
I do. So
She definitely got the wheel because of Patrick Swayze.
Oh.
That's why she said that. That's why she's in the thing. I'm with you. I
She
love
was
that
Demi
scene.
Moore's stunt double,
That's
but
Honestly.
Demi Moore didn't get hurt, so you never got a chance.
Honestly, I
Yeah.
get it.
yes, I have a beautiful studio in my
Yeah.
basement, and right now I just applied for a grant last week from the McHenry Community Foundation, and if we receive that, then we do have a couple kilns at our shop in the basement, but they're not hooked up. So if we receive this grant, there's quite a few things that we can do, expanding programs,
To get hooked
hooking
up.
up the kilns, things like that we would be able to do more things at the store then. Coming to watch us at the farmers market so that they can see how our artists actually create the products that they sell in the store. As I mentioned to you, we run the store like a co-op. So once their rent's covered, this is the artist's money. And ever since we opened 3 years ago, they've all covered plus and made, something so they can buy more clay, and they can buy more glazes,
So
they
if you're
can buy
looking
more
for
tools.
any unique pieces, because you have, outside of mugs, I mean, you have some great
bowls.
pieces in
we
there.
have everything. The butter dishes, the
those are, I saw those are
pigs. I mean,
soap dishes, all that. Anything for
right.
your bathroom. So things for your bathroom you can get as well.
anything you could want for your house.
If someone wants to do custom,
Some of the artists are. You have to realize that what the guest envisions sometimes is very hard to create.
Right.
So conversations can be had. There's certain of our
Conversations
artists
can
that
be-
would love
Yeah.
to do commission work.
perfect.
Yeah.
Commission
And
work.
how can the general public get involved with what you're doing? Classes or?
Yes, classes. But if they repeat a class, like the intro to clay hand building, I call them and say, okay, you don't want to make the same thing again. What do you want to make this time?
Sure, perfect.
So that they feel like they're being challenged to go to the next level, and then you never know. They may end up at the college.
Is a class a one-night thing? Is it a several-week
It's
thing?
a one night. So the intro to clay is where you make a plate and a cup or a bowl, and then you glaze it that night.
Okay.
We use what's called a low fire clay, so that instead of just going someplace where you just paint something that's already made, you're making it and you're glazing
I
it.
love that.
Yeah, it's very nice.
And can we have a glass of wine while we're doing that?
Well,
you're coming up with those. Aren't you doing that?
We have, yes, our sip and carve classes. We just received a liquor license from the
Oh,
city.
that good. Did you remember?
I
Good.
heard you talking about that.
That would have been really bad if we would have forgot to get that in.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
Yes, our sip and
yeah.
carve classes. We're calling it like a night out because some people want a date or some people just want a night out, and so we're able. We provide them with a large platter that has a black underglaze on it, and they carve in the plate. So they're not making it that class, but that's probably a good thing because
It's a
they're
good thing
drinking
they're
wine.
drinking. Yeah, I was going to say, you never know what you come up with.
Yeah, and it ends up being a much more social. We had one last Friday, and it was so much fun. Everybody, just the conversations they had with each other because they didn't have to really worry about
How do
rolling
people
out
get
clay.
in on that?
They sign up through the college.
Through the college?
Yes.
So you're not on a website?
No,
you?
no,
Okay.
no, it's through
So
the
you
community.
sign up through the college?
Yes, you sign up through the college, community enrichment under fine arts, but also too, if one has a group of 6 or greater, you can also book a private event if you have a group of friends and you're like, we just
fun.
want us.
Yeah.
You can do that. You can contact me directly. My card is at the store. And my email, do you want me to say my email?
Yeah, you
Go
give
for
as
it.
much information as you'd
so
like,
my
honey.
email is
Yeah.
cwguild, CWGUILD, president @gmail.com. And if you find that you have a group of 6 or greater, you can have a party.
It's time for 2 truths and a lie.
Okay.
Okay? And I'm going to give you mentioned you were still putting a couple of things together
Yes.
in your head.
Can
So
I look at my notes?
Yes.
For
of
2
course.
seconds?
Yes. I'll tell everybody that this is what we do with our guests. We challenge them to stump Susie or I with 2 truths and 1 lie.
Okay.
I'm paying
And,
$1,000 if he gets stumped.
Okay.
And I don't like to brag, but
He does like to brag.
Oh,
I have a-
So that's a lie.
there's my lie. I have a slight lead. Not a big one, a slight lead.
He has a full lead. I don't think I got one right.
Yeah.
I got the one right where the guy said it. He actually said, "This is a lie."
It was
Oh
fun.
my goodness. Yeah, that was it.
All right, you got it.
All right, so whenever you're ready.
Okay. I was a curator and tour guide in Ireland.
Okay.
I worked in management of hotels in Las Vegas.
Okay.
And I am a neatnik.
A neat neck. Is that like a neat
Neat person, yes.
Okay. All right. I know what mine is. Mine. Or
If you say number 2 and it's number 2 again,
I'm gonna say number 2 in that maybe you embellished on the location. The actual what you did was true, but maybe Las Vegas was made up. Wait,
And what's your opinion?
I'm going to say 3.
a neat.
Because clay can be very messy.
Yeah. Oh,
It can make you
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. Right.
You're correct. It's number 3. So number 2.
You can't be a need.
And I'm an organized mess.
Today's the
I
best
have so many
day
fires
ever.
going on. That it
Yeah.
is impossible.
Woohoo, kid.
Yeah, because
That was awesome sauce.
Yes.
I know. I hear you.
I did. I lived in Las Vegas.
That's wonderful. That's great.
For 12 years.
And the Ireland story too.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow.
Yes. A curated tour guide in Ireland.
When did you retire? How many years ago?
14 years ago.
14 years ago.
To take care of my mom.
Yeah.
And I had worked for 35 years with luxury hotels. And one of those stints was Southern California. One of those stints
That's a
was
big job.
Las Vegas.
That's a
So-
lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But more fun then when it would be now. Now it's like,
But it was difficult to retire and, where you're in a career. Like when I was in Las Vegas, I was the president of the Concierge Association for Southern Nevada. And so to go from being like in the hub of everything to being at home taking care of my mom, that's why.
are you from Woodstock?
No, I'm from Libertyville.
Okay.
I'm from there, but it's
Yeah,
very, very
of
similar.
course.
Yeah,
Very,
very similar.
not really. Okay, so here we go. So much fun with Annemarie, and because I won, she's getting $1,000. Just kidding. Knock it off. That is it for us. Another episode of Northern Illinois Biz Chats is a wrap. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Northern Illinois Biz Chats.
And don't forget to follow us on socials to see more local businesses.
And that's it for us until next time.
That's a wrap.